Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 88 of Build Your Stash and Craft. This week we are going to make dictionary embellishments and tags. And I got an old dictionary that was really falling apart. Like the pages were too brittle to use on their own. And it had the coolest pictures in it. And I thought, we use all of the different pages, but I never specifically pick things out. So I thought that I would just show you what I did when I was working with that. What I did was I actually chose pictures out of my dictionary. Like this horse is really cool and it shows all of the parts of his bridle. And so what I did was, remember a while back we made these edge rippers. To me, I find it easier to use this. I don't use this wavy one, but you could. But I love this one that makes the torn edge. And let me see, I've got a piece of cardstock here. It looks like that. And all we did was we just nicked all along this piece of acetate, put the black line on there so we wouldn't lose the acetate because when you set it down, it disappears. And that's your own handmade ripped edge. And I do have a tutorial for that. But what I do was I just put whatever I want to keep, I put underneath my ripper and keep the edge to the outside, and then just go ahead and take your page and rip along that line. But instead of just having something random, I'm going to do the other side too, but again I'm going to turn it over so that my ripper is on top of my picture. And so we're just going to do this so that our background or our tag or whatever is not just random. It's actually chosen. And I'm going to come over here and just kind of rip this. And you can just rip it by hand. You don't have to use your ripper. I like to do that because since I'm going to use it for embellishments or tags, I kind of want to have it to be a square, a rectangle, something like that. And I even like the straight edge that you get with the book. I like to rip that off too. The smaller the area you have to grab a hold of, kind of the harder it is. But when you rip with a ripper, remember, grab your paper and pull it towards the ripper in order to get that look. And so there we go. Now we've got that one. And I just went through it. It was fun when we were doing it with the older book. Papa was saying, well, look up this, look up that, look up cat, look up dog, and see if there's a picture. And then if there was, we were ripping the pictures out. But you just go through, and here I marked a bunch of them so that I wouldn't have to go through every page. Oh, another thing that I thought was cool was, what I am going to do with this book is I'm going to go through and I'm going to take the whole alphabet, because I think that would be really fun to do for a piece of mixed media, to have those letters. Well, I'm going to have to rip this one this way. And if you have your picture on the side that's not covered, just remember to be careful with it so that you don't rip it. Now this dictionary is pretty solid. The other one I had, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I'll cut this off later. But so you can do that. And then what I try and do when I do the ones, this picture was just in the explanation of the dictionary. This picture is actually in the dictionary itself. This is an abacus. And here is the description of abacus. So when I do these, what I try and do is I keep the definition of the picture with the picture if I can. Once in a great while, the picture is not next to its own definition. There we go. Just get that out of the way. I just find it easier to turn the book. Now my definition goes to right about there. If your definitions are super close to each other, you can go ahead and just put your ripper right on the first line of the next definition if you don't have room and you're afraid that you'll rip off part of the definition that you want to keep. Just go down a little bit. That works. So there we go, and I want to rip off that edge. And there we go. So now we have the picture and we have the definition, and we can use that to put on a tag or an embellishment. The other thing that I did was when I was all done with I'd ripped up a page and I had them all sitting there because actually I ripped the pages out first. And I was going to throw them away because they were just bits and pieces and everything. What I did was I went through and I looked at the definitions that were still left there. And, to see, like if I had ripped this out, I would just go through and see if there's anything. Now, I don't really see anything here that I want, abatement and, abandon. I don't want any of those. But abdominal, abductor, abed. I don't see anything here I want. But if I saw something and said, oh, I want that one, then I would rip out just the definition with the word, because then you can put that on a project, put it on a tag. And you can just go through, and if there are words that you think you want, if you want to rip out love and faith and that type of thing, go through and grab those first before you start doing your pictures, so that you don't find out after you've ripped out a picture, oh, that was a word I really wanted and I ripped it in half. So, but I'll just do a couple more here really quick. Oh, on this one, we've got north, south, east, and west, and I thought that that was really cool. So I am just going to rip that one out. And it does not have, it is, acrostic is a composition in verse or an arrangement of words in which the first, last, or certain other letters in each line take in order spell a word or a phrase. Now, because that is here, and it ends and goes up to the top page here, I can't actually keep my definition with that one. So on that one, I am just going to take the picture. And now some of the pictures are really small. The really cool thing about that is, now none of these are huge, but they're great size to use as an embellishment or to use on a tag. So that one looks really cool. And see, you just get some really neat things here. But the really small ones are really nice. They look like little stamps when you use your ripping edge to do them. And I'm not sure, I'm going to do that one. I'm not sure if I had done any of those. See here, we've got a boat, and it tells all about, aft and stern. And on this side, we have an airplane. So, it's just really, you go through. On this one, I love this comparative alphabets, which is really cool. And then on this side, we've got almonds. But if you have a spot here as a fish, now this is angelfish, so I've got him and I've got his definition here, but he would also be the perfect size to use as just like a stamp, because with this edge, it kind of makes it look like a stamp. So I'm just going to take that whole page out because it's easier to deal with. Now on this side we've got anchors. We've got anchors. So I would, because there's one on each side, make sure that they're not going to run into each other. And if they are, then I would want to decide which one it is that I wanted to keep if one's on top of the other. Just going to get that out of my way. And especially when you're going to make them really quite small, it is easier to make sure you hold your picture down so that you don't rip part of it. And like I said, you can do it by hand. To me, it's just faster to do it this way because I'm not worrying about if I'm going to lose my picture or not. But there we go. And that just looks kind of like a stamp. So that's what you can do with your... Okay, now on this one right here, this says angel, and I really like that, so I'm going to keep that. And that's why I looked at all my little bits to make sure that I wasn't throwing away something that I really might like to put on one of my projects. And on the bottom it says angel cake. And this one will be fiddly to get off, but I really don't want it on there. So I'm just carefully going to take it off. Now, if you find it hard to hold down your acetate because it's a little bit soft, what you can do is hold your acetate down with a ruler, like this, right towards your edge, and it makes it a little bit harder. It makes it a little easier to hold down sometimes. And there we go. I got rid of that. So now, oh, I ripped off Angel. I wasn't paying attention. So I've messed that one up. Yep, there it is. Okay, but anyways, you see what I'm getting at here. So then what I do with them then is, because dictionary pages are quite thin, then I just put them on a piece of cardstock. You can use any kind of paper that you want to, but I just use our water glue and put them on some cardstock. Now you might want to put this on a piece of parchment. I pulled out parchment to do it, but then I forgot, so. And then I leave a little bit of a space, because usually what I do is I go around the actual picture when I rip it off of here. But this makes it stronger. And what you can also do is you can take some of your inks and you can do this now around the edge of your dictionary paper, or just do it later around the edge of your cutout. But the dictionary paper is really soft, so it's, it'll fold a little bit. You'll get a little bit not just on the edge, but that also really makes it look nice. And you can tea dye your papers before you rip them out or after you rip them out. And there it is with the edging on it. Now, I probably should really let it dry better, but I'm going to put it right on here. And you can get a whole lot of these on one piece of paper. But like I said, leave yourself a little bit of room between them and between the top and stuff in case you want to rip them out. See, doesn't that look really cute? And you don't have to. I like the brown. That's my kind of color tone, is the earth tones. But you can do them in any color. If you don't want to do it in brown, you could do it in pink or blue, or let's see. I'm going to try and use my same sponge. But we'll just do this one in blue. You don't have to edge everything in a dark color or any specific color. I think that you see a lot of people edge in the brown tones because it just makes it look more vintage. So if they're going for that vintage look, but the paper in this dictionary is quite white, so why not make yourself some in color? It doesn't look vintage, but it makes it stand out, which is actually the whole purpose of edging in the first place, is to make it stand out a little bit. Just take this one and put it right here. And there we go. It's as simple as that. And aren't those really quite neat? So what I'm going to do is I am going to let these dry, and then I'll come back and we'll do something with them. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back and it has dried, and I did do the full sheet because I just like to have them ready to go when I'm ready to use them. And so what can we use them for? One thing I did want to show you, remember how I said look at the words that are on your scrap pieces of paper. And the thing is look through them and don't just say look for specific words. Look through them and see what they say. This one here says bask. And it says, to warm oneself pleasantly, the cat was basking before the fire. Or to take great pleasure, he basked in the pleasure of his friends. So that would be so nice to put on a card to a friend. And you could say, I bask in your friendship or something, and then put the definition on there. Actually, it fell off my pile of things, so I didn't get it stuck on this page. And I was actually kind of disappointed. It's like, I don't want to lose that one because I really like it. I never would have thought to look for that word. So remember, look through and see what the words are, see what their definitions are, and you find some that you think, wow, I never would have thought of that. So, so don't forget to look for your definitions, and you can use those on cards just by themselves. You can use them. This is the washi tape that we got and we put on our washi tape holder last week. And I thought that would make a really cute little tag. Now you could take that tag and you could cut this out and put it behind there, and that would be really cute. So you've got this one here that would fit. And you could put something on the tag like, no matter where you go, I'm always there. That type of thing. We've got our horse. You could put that on a card, and you could, it's got the reins on there. It is a harness. You could say, you've harnessed my love, and put that on there. So they're just really, you could use such cute things. Wouldn't this be cute on a little boy's card? That would be really cute on a little boy's card. Somebody that likes music. I did some with full color and some with some edging, just so you could see, the different ways that you can make them look, and the different things you can use them for. One other thing I wanted to show you was this is just a serrated knife, and you can use these if you don't have a ripper and you don't have any heavy acetate. Put it on the edge of your table so that the handle is hanging off the edge of your table, or like here I have a box. I'm going to put it on the edge of my box so that it's flat on the box, and then just hold this down. And this does work good for the acetate, for the cardstock, although it didn't work really well right there. And again, my box is not solid, so that does make a difference. But you can just use that, pull up against that serrated edge. Remember, up and towards whatever you're using to rip with. That helps you do better. And so you can just hold that there. And I think that the serrated edge knives, when you get it right, now this cardstock is a little bit heavy. The other ones that I did, now that I'm thinking about it, I did them on some tea-dyed paper. So it was paper that I was ripping. But they make really cute, they kind of look like the edge of a stamp, which is why I wanted to do it with this one. Because like I was saying, how you can make them and they would make cute little stamps. Let's just kind of square it up a bit. But you could make, when you're going to send someone something, or and you put something into an envelope to send someone, you can decorate your envelope up. I just used our watercolor technique that we did a while back. And let's take this, and I used this purple marker to put the watercolor technique on there. So let's go ahead and let's just go around the edge of this. Whoops. Alrighty. I'm just going to kind of come in a little bit more since I made a mistake and went onto my cardstock. I'm just going to make it look like I did that on purpose. There we go. Last one. And there. Now we've got a little stamp. And then you can take that and you can put it right on your envelope like that so it looks like a stamp. And you could put their address here and you could send it out like that. Now you would want to put it on this side where you put your return address label, and then you can put your regular stamp over here. But those are the different types of things that you can do with them. They're just so cute. And then all of your extra pieces, you can just rip those into pieces and cover a whole sheet, whether it be regular paper or cardstock, it doesn't matter. But cover a whole sheet with all those little extra bits, just collage it all over. Excuse me, every different direction, and then you can use that as a background for a card, for anything that you'd like to. So this is our project for this week. I hope you had fun playing with that, or that you tried and have fun playing with it. So I really enjoy this, and it was something that I had used dictionary pages before, but I just really used them as a background. In general, I never really specifically picked things out, and I'm really having fun doing this, and I'm really having fun finding different words to put on things, because I always do the typical love and faith and hope, and it's like, some of these are just so cute. It's like, I just really like this one. And actually, my girlfriend's daughter she likes cats, so it'd be cute to make a card with a cat on it and then put this on there. And they're just fun to play with. So get an old dictionary, either from home or from someone, or pick one up at the secondhand store, and have fun playing like this, because they're just so fun to do. Here's some that I did earlier, and these ones I edged both the paper and the background paper, and this is the one I did on tea-dyed paper as my samples, and I edged it before I glued it down, and then I glued it down, and then I edged the paper too after I ripped it out. And this is the one that I ripped with the serrated knife. If you can see how that does kind of look like a stamp, so that's kind of fun to play with too. Thank you very much for watching. And for next week, what we're going to need is, next week we're going to get some of these shipping labels, and then pick up some like sticky back bling, like pearls or diamonds, or even just plain old stickers. And so this is what we're going to need for next week. This and something else to put on it as an embellishment. Like I said, bling, pearls, stickers, something like that. So we're going to spend $2 for next week. That'll put $3 in our bank. We had $24.50, so that'll leave us with $27.50 in our bank. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you like this video, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.